American or is he African?
He is an African living here in America in Philly. I'm in New York.
Okay, all right. So what happened? You guys connected in the DMs. All
Ah,
right. He saw your glowing, beautiful face, and then what happened?
okay.
Hmm.
So he reached out to me on Instagram and we started talking. He asked for my number. I gave him my number and we were talking for a while. We talked about everything. We talked about his living situation. He told me about his house and he bought another house. He told me about his family
Okay.
and I told him about my family. I tried to keep the conversation as interesting as possible. It was going great. We talked about so many things. So usually there's just certain things in people that I feel like, especially gaslighting. Gaslighting is one of my biggest pet peeve because it's something that time. So I realize it like the slightest bit as I feel like I'm being gaslighted, I pick it up because it was something that like I grew up being gaslighted. So it be in any form and I will recognize gaslighting.
So what did that look like in your situation? What did he say? When
Okay,
did
so
things
Gonna play
start to go
victim.
left that you feel like, okay, well, this is not gonna work. He's gaslighting me.
okay. So we were talking, mind you, like I said, remember, because I told you we talked about our families, right? So we were on the phone and I had cooked something that day and I was telling him about it. And I said, I just like trying new recipes. I love cooking. I feel like it goes hand in hand. And I told him that, right? And then he goes, "Oh, my daughter will love you." I have no issue with men with kids, but
Wait, wait,
okay.
it almost dawned on me. I think I know who. I'm like, okay, go ahead. Go
So
ahead.
he said, "My daughter will love you."
What's wrong with
Now,
it?
I feel like we talked about everything. I remember everything he told me. He told me about his cousins, his brother, his friends, their wives, but he never, ever mentioned him having a kid, ever. He
Okay.
never even mentioned him. In fact, he told me he lived alone. So when he said
Maybe he
that his
does.
daughter will love me, I said, "Oh, you have a daughter?" And he goes, "Yeah, I told you that." No, you didn't tell me you have a kid.
But what's wrong with that? Maybe he thought he told you. Why is that such a big deal that you have to call into a dating show to expose what you talked about with a man? He opened up. He didn't lie. He didn't say he doesn't have a daughter. He maybe didn't tell you. Maybe for oh my god.
He goes, "No, are you sure? I thought I told you that."
Okay,
Right
maybe you
there, it
thought he
was just
did.
like, ugh.
How old is
Because
your daughter?
his daughter is 4 years old. He's been in the States for 6 years.
So what are you feeling now? He first of all he lied to you. He
He didn't
wasn't
lie.
honest.
He didn't lie. He maybe just didn't tell her. He didn't say he doesn't have kids. That's one thing she didn't say. And he didn't say it. Maybe he didn't tell her he has kids, but now he's telling her he has kids. What's wrong? That's not lying.
Honest, right? And he has a young child. She's very new to the world. So what is your question for me about the situation?
So, but it gets worse than that because I personally I just withdraw.
That's how they miss
It
out on
gets
good
worse
men.
than that. So when he said that, I still had my doubts, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play it low for now. Give him some grace. So when he said that, I said, well, I would remember if you told me you had a daughter. I remember everything else you tell me, but how old is your daughter? And this is when he started telling me about her age and how he and his baby mother still have like joint custody
What's wrong
and
with that?
all of that. Anyways,
I mean, this is a good
fast
father.
forward, he was supposed to come see me on the 23rd of March to New York. And 23rd was also his birthday. He
And
said
I,
he
you
wasn't
know what? Yeah,
working.
I'm gonna stop the story here, Belle. One thing
Okay.
I remember about you is you was looking for a high value man who makes money. I
Yeah.
remember when
All
you
of them.
came up on this live, you had serious
Yes.
standards and serious requests. I remember that very clearly.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
this doesn't even align with the girl that I met
I
when I first
know.
met you. But keep going. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so was she supposed to ask for his bank account information to find out if he's a high value man and makes lots of money? So high value men or rich men don't have kids with other women. I'm confused. I don't know what was the point of actually bringing that in.
No, so he said he was going to come see me. His birthday was on the
Hi,
23rd.
Miss
He wasn't
Mariam.
working. I don't work on the weekends, so I was like, that's fine. On Friday, so I'm in college. You know that. And if you're an engineering major in college, it's like, actually, it's like one of the most stressful things. Like, sometimes you get so stressed, you start crying. And Friday was it was Thursday, actually. Sorry. Thursday was just one of that days for me. We had an exam. And there was some reason why my professor refused for me to take the exam. So I was just going back and forth from buildings to buildings, trying to get it sorted out. And I'm literally on the verge of crying. I'm stressing out, it's like frustrated. He texted me, he said, he said, good morning, sweetheart. No, this is important. Please call me as soon as you possibly can.
Oh, wow. It's an emergency. As soon as
Yeah,
possible.
that's what he
means
said.
emergency. Okay.
So I called him in the building I was in. Mind you, this is testing going on. So you can't have your phone out. So I said, what is it? This is a no phone zone. Like, is it important? He said, well, yes and no. So I said, well, I'll take it as yes. What is it? He goes, oh, well, unfortunately, I can't come see you on Saturday. I mean, I can still come, but it would have to be later on. So I said, okay, why? He said, because one of his coworker, I think, was having a very important dinner or something, and he had to cover up for the coworker. Mind you, that same Saturday is also his birthday. So he said he had to cover up for the coworker. So I said, all right, so you could just come see me after work. He doesn't leave work till 4:00. But he had told me when we were on the phone talking previously that he left work at 2:30. So I said, well, I thought you leave work at 2:30. He goes, no, I leave work at 4. So I'm like, okay, you can't come see me on Saturday because Philly is about 3 hours away from
So
here.
why don't you drive to
By the
see him?
time you get here, and I know New York traffic, it gets really crazy. So by the time you get here is about 8:00. Because once you leave work at 4, you have to go home, you have to freshen up. You probably won't start leaving your house till 5:36. When you get here, it's like 8, 9.
Why didn't you go to see
There's
him?
nothing to really do because you have to drive back home anyways. You're not staying here. You're not staying in my house. I don't know you. So I don't think Saturday is going to work out. He goes, well, what about Sunday? I really barely hang out on Sunday. Sunday is like my day where I take to refresh myself and mentally prepare myself for the following week. So I said, well, I'm not too sure about Sunday, but I'll call you and let you know. And I was irritated, but I wasn't irritated at him. I personally was just irritated because of what I was going through with my whole schooling. He just called in the wrong timing. And I gave him a call back that evening, I think at like 9 something when I got home. And it just went straight to voicemail. He never called back. And he didn't call me for like 4 days.
So he ghosted you.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then,
because probably he learned from your attitude and the way you were so fixated on him coming to see you, because you're not considerate that things happen in people's lives. Because if the same thing happened in her life, she would hope the man can understand that, she's in school, she can't go to see him, she has things going on. Women do this to men all the time. Oh, I know you're going to hate me, but I just wanted to let you know that something came up. And men are supposed to understand it. Men are supposed to just be the best understanding man, the patient type of man. But when it happened to her, when it happened to the man, now she's on a dating show talking about how the guy ghosted. Maybe because when he talked to you, he kind of picked up on the energy. Or maybe he was even testing her to see what kind of person she is. Because women do this all the time. Oh, let me test him to see how he reacts. Literally. But when it's a man doing it, now they have an issue with it. The double standards are crazy.
And he
You saw the red
finally
flags.
called me like 3 days ago. And I missed the call. I called him 20 minutes later. And he never picked up.
Maybe he was
So
working.
I'm just like,
Oh my
okay, I'm
God.
not going to bother. I have other things in my life to stress about. Men will never be one of them. And then yesterday, out of nowhere, I'm just sitting chilling, and he sends me a link to one of the songs I told him was my favorite song. He just sent me the YouTube link. No words, nothing. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do.
Well, I feel like you're very invested.
She sounds very immature. I'm gonna be honest. And the reason I don't believe a word she's saying, because it's her side of the story. Because men rarely come out to tell their side of the story because nobody really believes the men anyway. So she sounds very immature. But what's going to happen, and I'm going to play it for a couple more seconds, is Ashley is literally going to attack the man, even if she has never listened to the man's side of the story. And then number two, she's not going to hold her accountable because it's woman versus woman, the sisterhood. And then number three, Ashley is going to shower her with compliments and tell her, you know what, he was broke. You should just go back to wanting only high value rich men and things like that. I haven't watched the whole video, but that's my prediction. Let's go. Let's see.
Invested in this relationship more than he's invested in it. It sounds like you like him more than he likes you.
See.
And again, when I met you, Belle, this is coming from the most loving place. See. This was not the same Belle, not the same young lady I was speaking to almost 2 months ago who came up here with confidence. She was sure of what she wanted and who she is. And this,
guys, what did I just say? I swear to God, I've not watched this video, but just observing women for so long, you can literally tell what they're going to say. I told you she was going to shower her with compliments and not hold her accountable in any way. She's just going to take her word for it. And she did every word for word, bar for bar. Everything I said she was going to do is what Ashley did. Man, you got to give me my flowers in the comments. Oh my fucking God. This is so crazy. She's just feeling the delusion. Oh my God.
Doesn't sound like the same young lady. And granted, we may stub our toe. We may, find ourselves in a situation. However, he's showing all signs that he's just not that into you. That's what this is saying to me. And he's playing the game with you because he knows you like him. He knows you're going to answer. He knows you're going to be available. He knows that if he says tomorrow, do you want to meet up? You're going to say yes.
Going to move on. Because I wanted to move on, but I thought probably I was being rational. But thank you for confirming that for me.
Yes, you're a beautiful young lady. You have a lot going on for yourself. You're in New York City, not Philly. Creme de la creme is here. No shade to Philly. I'm not saying Philly don't got the places, but y'all know what I mean, Philly. The creme de la creme is in New York City. Okay? I want you to work on your self-confidence and your self-esteem. All right?
Well,
what did I tell you guys? This is why single women keep other women single. I'm telling you. I don't mind a woman getting advice from a woman. Can you get advice from a man too? So you compare both perspectives. Because women will always try, of course, not all women. I don't know. When I speak, I'm speaking generals. I'm not speaking, all. But at the end of the day, now, to be fair, Ashley is running a business. So if she tried to hold accountable, maybe other women wouldn't call in. But I just knew it was always going to be the sisterhood. It was always going to be you're the victim. The man is a bad man. You're beautiful. You deserve better. I knew it was going to be the same shit. I knew it.